Devil May Cry. I got into the series about a year ago with this video I made, and of course I loved it. But originally I wanted that video to have a whole section all about Devil May Cry appearances, spin-offs, you name it. It just never happened. So today I'm making it happen. I'm finally taking that chance to go back and check out Devil May Cry's many appearances and spin-offs. I'm going to include as many as possible, varying from the anime to fighting games and even the newest DMC mobile game. Obviously though, I'm not going to be able to actually play or experience firsthand every single entry, as for example some just take forever to get through. Like, I'm not playing through all of Shin Megami Tensei 3 for this video. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, I don't care if Dante's playable. Still, I will be looking into every appearance, spin-off as best as I can, switching back and forth between them with a review and ranking out of 10 for each entry. Obviously, the rankings will be opinion based, as they are just for fun, they're silly, but the real point of the video is to showcase all the cool things Devil May Cry has made outside of the main games and all the things it's appeared in. And finally, if I miss a few, I'm sorry. There's already a lot to keep track of for this video, you can see the timestamps, so I'm just going to assume that I'm gonna end up missing something, but I'm going to try my very best not to. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and you know what? Let's play the old intro. It's really time. It's time to sit back. I ordered myself a pizza as Dante would, and I loaded up.
Let's rock, baby.
There's no better place to start than the manga spin-off of the DMC game that has become my favorite over time, the Devil May Cry 3 manga. Well, actually it's a prequel. It's a prequel spin-off. Anyway, the two volumes released in 2005 with Volume 1, or Code 1, revolving around Dante, and Code 2, or Volume 2, revolving around Virgil, both before the events of DMC3. There was meant to be a third code revolving all around Lady, but apparently the mangaka, Chayamachi Suguro, just quit, so it doesn't exist. And I probably got their name wrong too. I'm sorry. The two volumes are canon, and they are actually pretty interesting story-wise and really silly. The fact that Dante is obsessed with tomato juice for whatever reason, not pizza like normal, is hilarious. Why do they constantly write him to have a terrible, expanding diet of more and more terrible foods? I don't know, but I love it. Please keep doing it. Then you also got Arkham being just a complete weirdo, slinking around as this bunny thing and this creature, like he's like in some kind of costume party. He just... We know it's him. What is the point? What is the point, dude? You're just goofball. Anyways, back on topic, we'll start with Dante's portion. And overall, I thought it was okay, with the highlights definitely being his attitude and the moments where he loses control of his powers. I also really like how he was wrote here. Dante seems mean, upset, and just very quick-tempered. And considering this is before he learned his brother was alive, but after the tragedy he's been through, it makes sense that he's depressed. You know, family has always been big to Dante as a character, and he has absolutely none of that at this point. It's definitely a fun take and a fun way to write him, and it really does pay off when he sees Virgil, when he learns Virgil is actually alive. He instantly seems to transform into that Dante we know and seen in Devil May Cry 3. My favorite moment though from Dante's section was when he started to lose control of his demon power. Considering what goes on to actually happen in the game, it makes this moment really cool. He's kind of like in Devil Trigger, but he's not there yet, and it gives the assumption that like, oh, this is something that happens to him. I thought it was a really cool scene to show, and as Dante would say,
I'm absolutely crazy about it!
But I just couldn't care for the scenario Dante was put through. It's mostly just Arkham messing with Dante in a similar way to how he does in the game, by portraying multiple goofy characters. It just is kind of for no reason here. I guess it's for the sake of testing him and trying to see if he could somehow get the amulet. It's just alright. In comparison though, Virgil's part was far more enjoyable. While not nearly as long, it showcases Virgil and Arkham's meeting to them working to unseal the tower DMC3 revolves around. It adds tons of context that's just cool to see, from what they actually do to unseal this huge mythical tower to giving us Virgil's real thoughts on Arkham. At the very end though, when the twins finally meet, it's easily the best part of the two volumes. As I said before, we finally get to see Dante perk up and we get to see some beautiful panels of the two of them fighting, with the volume ending showing Arkham scheming yet again, starting the events of DMC3, and as well as the message to be continued in Code 3. Except that never happened, did it? Yeah. But all in all, everything considered, these volumes are okay. The art is something I want to mention as it is obviously something that sticks out. It's a manga. I don't really love it. I like it, it's just I don't think this art style is like my thing. Some of the scenes are really well drawn and very cool to look at, and I do want to note that the mangaka definitely can make some very interesting and fun facial expressions. It was one of my favorite parts reading, but there's also points where it feels inconsistent. There were points where I definitely felt like the quality decreased a bit, characters ended up missing a lot of detail in some panels, and from some angles the characters just always looked boxy. And I did just say that, I didn't love the art, it wasn't my favorite thing, but other than the connections to the game, I just don't think there's too much that's overly great about this manga, as except for the parts with Virgil and the tower and the big references to the game, I just couldn't get too into this original story. To be honest though, you can't say no to more Dante and Virgil and their rivalry, so it really isn't that bad. I probably wouldn't recommend it to everyone unless you're a huge DMC fan. It's just not the most enjoyable, the scans are weird, and so our first spin-off of the video gets a 6 out of 10. Not good, not bad, but slightly, very slightly above average. And so, with that, let's move on to our first appearance. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is the perfect appearance to start with, as it's quite a special one. You see, most games get that featuring Dante from Devil May Cry treatment, meaning that most of the time games only have Dante and maybe Virgil, if they have someone else. But here, not only do we have Dante, Virgil, we even have Trish. This works so well, and I think it's pretty close to perfect, as with 3 characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, that's a full team. And you know where I'm going with this. You can make a full Devil May Cry team in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And it's a really fun team. I had to lock in. Why did you? Oh wait, never mind. I'm cooked. I'm cooked.
Over. You get touchy die, bro. You get touchy
oh yeah,
die.
this is the best part about Marvel. I can have such a good round. I get in a combo and it's over. I'm having a great day. Hey, breakfast. I get in a combo and I'm dead. It doesn't even matter. Considering Marvel vs. Capcom is already really crazy, after all it's Marvel Capcom fighting, it's insane. And so the Devil May Cry cast is a perfect fit. They have no issues blending into the game's craziness, its gameplay, and even the art style. They're super fun in this game, and while I'm not any good at Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I can appreciate how much I feel like I'm playing actual Devil May Cry in a fighting game. All of their supers look really good, their move lists are based directly off the games, and they even managed to give the twins their devil triggers. It's perfect. Then if we take a look at the art style, they nailed it. With the DMC cast already having vibrant and loud elements, they look great in this game. Full of color, full of like stylish choices. It's a perfect fit. Oh, and you can't forget that they decided to give characters cutscenes like Deadpool versus Dante. It's peak.
Yeah! Yeah, katana coming at you in your face! Your mama! Have gun will shoot!
But overall, me and my buddies had a ton of fun playing. Being DMC characters made it even better, considering I'm just not the biggest fan of this game. And you know what, I'm just saying, if you say you're making a video, your friends will all get on the game. It's a cool trick I learned with this one.
Dark Phoenix, let's go!
Oh god. What the?
Dude! Okay, bro!
Alright.
How is that fair?
Told you, we're playing the most overpowered character in the game.
Let's fucking go. Get out of here with that weak ass shit, bro. What the fuck?
No, fuck.
Sleep it off.
Bro, what is that Dante quote?
Sleep it off, baby.
Yo.
With that, it's time to rate the Devil May Cry appearances in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10. Reason being is that while this is a perfect example on how to do a Devil May Cry appearance, I really just think we should have gotten Lady. RE and Street Fighter have gotten more than a team in this game. So the question is, where is DMC3's other main character? Lady. But I will say what we have here is great, and I can't think of better representation for these characters. So moving on, 9 out of 10, final score. Moving on. Moving on. Okay, fine. I'll cave and give the game a 10 out of 10. These are honestly perfect. Even if I think that there really should have been Lady in the game, having a full team of Devil May Cry characters in a fighting game is just the coolest shit ever. And I really need this to come back in a new fighting game. Welp, as for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, there was a downgrade. It's joined the featuring Dante trend, removing Virgil and Trish, keeping only Dante. Now, I didn't buy this game because, yeah, no. But I can tell you about this game's Dante. And what I can tell you is that he just doesn't seem as good. Gameplay wise, he's almost identical, with small changes here and there, but at his core, he's just like the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Dante. And so I want you to take a good look at him. Yeah, he kinda looks like they took Dante from DMC Devil May Cry and threw DMC3 Dante stuff on him. He doesn't look good at all, and he looks horrible, dude. He doesn't mesh well with this game's new art style at all, and he doesn't look nearly as good as he did before, and he looked really good in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's a bummer. Then, thanks to this video I found while looking at the character, it's very easy to see he's very different in game too. He doesn't seem like Dante. It almost feels like he's trying too hard.
Here's the finale. And that's level maximum. Hot, push, take your bow. Here's the finale. That's how you do it.
And yeah, that's about all I can say without actually playing the game for myself. But I'm not buying a game I'll probably have to spend 40 bucks on for one character for 3 minutes in a video. Sorry, whatever, I'm not sorry. But what I can do is rate it based off what I see, and compared to the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 appearances, huge step down. Therefore, I'm gonna give it a 4. Actually, maybe a 3. 4. Mainly based off looks, because he just doesn't look as good, and the fact that I can't even play a full DMC team anymore. That part really sucks. Moving on. What I would like to believe is one of Devil May Cry's better known spin-offs, the anime, is up next. It was created by Studio Madhouse, a studio that worked on Trigun, Hunter x Hunter, Death Note, and many more. It released in 2007 and had 12 episodes all revolving around Dante after DMC1, meaning this is canon. I won't have time to talk about every episode in detail, but I will talk about a few. First though, the series itself is pretty simple. It follows Dante in an episodic format anime alongside a small cast of characters, meaning most episodes basically end up with Dante working a random job and these characters being in that episode in some way or the other. Episode 4 was one of my favorites. It showcases Lady meeting Trish for the first time. You would have thought that they'd met by now, considering this does obviously take place a bit after DMC1, but I guess not. It begins with Lady out on her normal route hunting demons when all of a sudden she's attacked by this strange blonde woman devil. And she's like, she had guns just like Dante. Who could that be? And so she goes to ask him, and of course Dante goes, I don't know. I have no idea. That's super strange. Weird, curious. He even asked to be introduced to this devil. So her and Lady continue to have these silly little spats, eventually ending up in a church, fighting yet again. And that's when Dante walks in and is like, my girls are fighting. Trish thinks this is hilarious, but Lady is super confused. And you know, she wants to know why they're messing with her like this. Why does Dante know this devil? She's really confused. You'd think that they'd all come together to fight like some huge threat, that they needed to be comrades, that Lady and Trish needed to know each other for this battle. But it was kind of just a joke. Yeah, sure, there was a devil, but they beat him instantly. You can just tell it was to mess with Lady. The episode then ends with the girls becoming best friends, and they ride away. Lady and Trish just ride away, leaving Dante in the dust. Episode 8 was probably my favorite, beginning with Dante getting a job from a man who insists he's Tony. Tony being the name Dante went by when he was younger, but Dante insists this isn't him, considering he isn't that person anymore. Anyways, this guy wants to prove Dante innocent, as the village the two of them stayed in was destroyed by demons. Demons apparently after Dante. Dante goes along with the man, learning he plans to unseal that demon to prove it wasn't Dante's fault. This of course goes wrong, but Dante's there to save him. But the demon does reveal that he was after Dante that day, proving it really was this Tony's fault in some sad way. He curses Dante, blaming him for everything, and Dante walks away silently, ending the episode. I think this episode seems pretty simple on the surface, but it does really get complicated when you think about Dante's history and the emotions involved. While I'm not going to get too deep into it, you can assume so if you know the Dante lore. It does make me want more stories from Dante's time as Tony, as this does imply there's a lot of sadness there. And the last episode I'd like to mention is episode 10. This episode revolves around Sparta's apprentices, both of them coming after Dante, and one of them looking like he's trying to become Virgil. Anyways, this idea is interesting. These two warriors who were basically abandoned when Sparta betrayed the demon world, only to disappear soon after. It left them both in a whirlwind of emotions, with them both seeking to claim Sparta's lost power. And well, what's just as good as Sparta? Dante. And that's that. You get the rest is easy. Dante wins with minimal effort and proves they're just idiots. Those are just a few examples, but from that you can tell the show is pretty random. Some episodes are slightly connected, but there's not really any huge plot the show explores. While I definitely found myself wishing for a bigger plot, I was more than enjoying the simple short story episode format. Way more than I thought I would. The first two episodes were pretty hard to get through, and the third episode really started to have me feeling the same, but the show picked up a bit towards the end of that one. About halfway through episode 3, the show got its stuff together, and I ended up binging the rest of the show pretty quickly. A big part of my initial issues was Patty. Episode 1 does not set this girl up well at all, with her being annoying more so than anything else, and she sticks around for the rest of the show. But she does get better, a lot better, and by the end of the show she grows a ton, not only becoming way more tolerable, way more enjoyable, but becoming super close to Dante. And by the end she sees him like a big brother. I also finally understand her cameo in DMC5, making this moment all the more better.
Devil may cry.
Dante, do you have any idea how many times I've tried to call? Like a zillion. Oh my god, tonight's my birthday party. Yeah, I'm turning 18. Not a little kid.
I can understand the complaints that this is a DMC show with very little action, but it is also important to remember this is an older anime. Scenes you see now, like in an episode of JJK, just wouldn't have been possible back then. And still, regardless if it was possible or not, the show still looks great. It more than holds up today. You can tell tons of care was put into every single scene. Not just for the fights, not just for the action, but the whole show feels like it has the same amount of care. The team obviously understood Dante and Devil May Cry, with tons of episodes exploring themes and ideas very close to the games in the series. Music too, the soundtrack is too good, with me having to pause multiple times, find the soundtrack, and save a specific theme just to go right back to the episode. Overall, the show is very good and very fun. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It does really have a slow start, and I feel like it took till about episode 4 to really take off, but from then on, I really enjoyed it and it's great. I really recommend this one. It feels like a window into Dante's day-to-day life, considering we really only get to see him do huge missions. It's a nice change of pace. There's also another DMC anime coming out. It's made by a new studio, Mur, and it looks like it's going to be available on Netflix. It looks like it takes place before DMC3, maybe? And the short trailer definitely looked really good, so we'll just have to wait and see. Viewtiful Joe is a game series made by one of the creators of DMC, Shin Megami. And with that, it makes a lot of sense that Dante would be a returning character in this series, with the series even claiming Dante and Joe are pretty good friends. Dante first appeared in the PS2 port of the first game, where Dante goes on a mission to save Trish. But funny enough, this isn't the only DMC appearance from this game. The other big DMC reference / appearance is one of the game's main characters, Alistor. He being a direct reference / appearance to Alistor from DMC1. Like a human version of the sword Dante has. Dante is playable in the game and has his own complete moveset. And I would say he easily fits into this game's style and is perfect for the world. Then, in Viewtiful Joe Red Hot Rumble, Dante appears yet again in the game's story, also being unlockable again as a playable character with the rest of the DMC cast being outfits. And yeah, from what I know from my short time playing the games, it makes perfect sense for Dante and Joe to be buddies. They act pretty similar in the way they both value being stylish, and in general just seem to mesh well together. I mean, look at them. I see the same vibe, same character archetype. This is a series that when I first learned about it, because of the DMC connection, I actually thought it looked pretty cool. I gave the first game a shot to see what Joe was like as a character, and I definitely understand how he's so close to DMC. I also tried Red Hot Rumble, which I didn't enjoy playing very much, but it was really cool to actually see Dante. Wait, it's Dante! That's Dante! Yo, I should have paid attention! Wait, does that mean I can unlock him soon? This is one of the coolest appearances in my opinion, as not only does it have personal history with Devil May Cry, having the same creator and all, it's an appearance that actually feels very natural in its own world. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, and if I didn't have tons of things to check out and write about for this video, I'd probably be pretty happy to finish this game, and maybe I will on my own time. Devil May Cry 5 came out in 2019, and do I even need to say that it was loved? Not only did it revive Devil May Cry, it wasn't really dead, but it was a huge success, so the next game has to do something great. Well, the next spin-off and the newest entry in the DMC series is a mobile game! Why is nobody clapping? Anyways, my experience with this game has been terrible. I started playing with BlueStacks, a phone emulator, as it's way easier to record on my computer than my iPad, and everything instantly went wrong. First of all, my game kept crashing. No matter what I did, it kept crashing. It got better when I took the game out of full screen. Who knows? Whatever. That's something. And since it's a gacha game, I want to start there. My first summon was Nero, my favorite character, so obviously I thought that was really cool. But I realized it was a gacha, and I don't love the gacha part. I'm not going to go into gacha games in general, but I didn't know this was a gacha game before I played. All the advertising I've seen from this game has been accidental. I've never looked for it, went out of my way for information, but still I was generally interested as a DMC fan, and I was excited to play because I'm a DMC fan. The fact is though, is that I should have known this was a gacha before I even downloaded it. And the fact that I didn't really pissed me off, and I don't think that's cool at all. When your advertising is all either memes or these really great looking cutscenes, I'm obviously not going to get the impression that this game is going to constantly shove glorified gambling in my face. From everything I knew, I thought this was a Devil May Cry combat game, but on mobile. And while yeah, I expected mobile monetization, I didn't expect gacha. To be fair, you can say this is my fault, maybe I just didn't know enough, I didn't keep up, but I think most fans would agree, regardless, we don't need a gacha. There's no way Devil May Cry isn't making enough money, it's just overall disappointing. The rest isn't even terrible either, the game's got a really good theme, it looks good for a mobile game, and best of all, the combat isn't that bad, it's actually kinda fun. The combat element is definitely fun, and it's what I'm going to mention first. It was actually way better when I decided to play the game a bit more on the iPad, the device it was actually, designed for. It really makes me want to have a proper PC release, as besides the gacha / mobile elements, it's not the worst mobile game I've played. It's not close to perfect, but I'll say it's okay. It feels somewhat close to an actual DMC experience, surprisingly, but I do like that there's a fun extra level of opportunity. And by opportunity, I'm referencing the best choice of this whole game, the ability to switch characters. I'm actually, surprised that the first game we see this in is the mobile game. It seems like such an obvious choice to give the combo-based hack and slash, switching between your characters. I definitely miss styles and I noticed so many moves are missing, but something I really enjoyed was the ability to switch characters. It really almost filled in that space, and while it would be a lot better if I just had it all, it is something I liked and I hope we do see it in the future. Overall, if I really had to say, I would say the combat is fun at points. It's not as great, obviously, as the actual games, and it's not close to what I feel like it wanted to be as what it was showing itself to be, but it's passable. The menus though, this game might genuinely have some of the worst I've ever seen. I genuinely did not understand one thing they tried to teach me the whole time playing, and the menus themselves don't really stop you from making mistakes. So many times I accidentally spent gems and resources because I had no idea where to go, what I was supposed to be clicking, and yet again, I expected better from this game. And the last thing I want to talk about is a question. Why can't we just get all the characters? You have Lady, Nero, Dante, Trish, and Virgil all playable, yet we only get 3 off the bat. But for some reason we could play Virgil in the tutorial. I know it's monetization, but you already really want me to summon for outfits and weapons, and in the future I'm probably gonna have to summon for character styles. Is it really that bad if we just get the characters? It's like they just don't want people to stick around. People are here for DMC, they're here for the DMC characters, yet you will have to put so much time in to just get a chance at the character you're there for. And it really doesn't help when everything I hear out of common critiques for this game about the company itself, what they do outside of the game, big things like how they respond to criticism, is all negative. It really doesn't make me hopeful for this game, nor want to keep giving it a chance. And yeah, so we reached the end, and in turn, my score, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. It's right in the middle, as I really want to put hope in, and I want to hope this game can expand and improve, as sadly, this is the current DMC entry. Who knows how it'll affect everything if this game just continues to fail and do negative. Would I give it another chance? Well, I said I have hope. Maybe I would give it another chance if it came to PC. As for right now, I just don't see the point of it. I don't want to play through an emulator, and regardless of its good choices, why would I play this when I can play the other games? Better yet, play them on a platform that isn't mobile with the input that works way better for these games. As of right now, this just isn't it. And for my final critique, one thing I just wanted to leave towards the very end, the second you finish the tutorial, They try and get you to spend an absurd amount of money. You get a bunch of pop-ups and it's all spend this money, get this pack, whatever. And yeah, that accurately describes this game right now. Finally, we get to move on to something way cooler than that sad excuse of an official DMC game, and it's featuring Dante from Devil May Cry. Yeah, you know what we're talking about now. Shin Megami Tensei 3. The one appearance I actually knew about before I even played the DMC games. This is one of the cooler appearances in my opinion, as Dante not only is actually fit into the story for this game, he's even recruitable for your team. I guess they were actually pretty big fans of Dante, can't really blame them. And in return for his appearance, the director of SMT3 got to design the DMC3 Devil Triggers. And that sounds like a pretty good deal to me, so I am very happy this appearance happened. It's important to note though that Dante only appears in the re-release for this game. Later when the game was re-released yet again, he was replaced. Then he got added as DLC. They just knew you couldn't get rid of Dante, but you can charge players for him. And that's the history. Personally, I think his inclusion in this series works really well. And while it's definitely random, it makes sense to a degree considering he's a devil hunter being placed into a world filled with demons. I haven't played SMT3 as I just haven't had the time. It's a 60-hour game. Every game in that series is like 50 plus hours. But this inclusion does make me very excited to get to it, and therefore, I think it's pretty successful. It has me more interested in the game. It also gets points for being DMC2 Dante. Not because he's good, DMC2 sucks, I don't even need to say that. But because this is one of my favorite Dante looks. Off impressions alone, and because I do really like the SMT universe, I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. Though, this is one of those rankings that could easily change when I actually play the game. Regardless of how I end up feeling about it though, I do think I'm still gonna like this appearance because I think the history behind it is just silly and kinda cool. Devil May Cry also has a comic book spin-off. And just like the Devil May Cry 3 manga, it too was never finished. It's weird this keeps happening. There's 3 issues with it revolving around Devil May Cry 1, and while this run definitely isn't canon, it's actually pretty interesting. The story follows DMC1 but from Trish's point of view, albeit a very changed version of DMC1 with several differences and a heavy emphasis on Dante and Nilo Angelo. It's written by Brad Mick, and it seems to be their own interpretation of the DMC1 story told through Trish. And it's actually a shame this one never got finished. I really liked the route taken with Dante and Nilo Angelo, with it being more of an emotional struggle between them here rather than a show of strength. Trish is also a lot more likable here, a huge contrast to how I felt about her during the game, and I really wish we could have seen how her betrayal was going to be written. The art is great too, drawn by Pat Lee, and oh boy, let me tell you, looking up this guy was hilarious. The reason this comic never got finished is because his company went bankrupt, allegedly, because he wasn't paying his employees. Another company he was in charge of allegedly had the same issue, and funny enough, not really surprising, his original comics are commonly criticized for being plagiarized. He's got whole wikis on this shit, and stumbling onto this, I don't even know how we got here. But yeah, regardless of that, this comic is, it's really pretty. The comic takes the doomy, dark, grungy, but loud personality Devil May Cry is known for and throws it onto paper perfectly. I mean, look at the pages I've been showing. Dante looks great, and I would say Trish looks way better than she does in DMC1. Even the action is great, which is something that personally is kinda hit or miss in American comics for me. And well, if we were to ever get another DMC comic, I'd hope it looks a lot like this. Overall though, these 3 short issues are pretty good. It's a fun take on a DMC story, the first game, that I feel like they could do so much more with in media. And it's just a real shame that it never got finished, regardless of the reasons why. 8 out of 10, that's my score, and this one I really actually recommend. It's a short read, has really good art, and it captures the feel of DMC1 pretty well even if it isn't finished. There's also a DMC Devil May Cry comic book, but I'm straight up not even gonna talk about that. I read it, it has alright art, it's a solid 3 out of 10, maybe a 2, but that's overreacting a little bit. It was just a struggle to get through, and let's just go talk about something else. Project X Zone is a game series that is a mashup of universes. It features tons of characters from Capcom, Sega, Bandai, and even Nintendo. And to be honest, I don't even know how they got along to make this game. And somehow they made a second one. Both are tactical based RPGs and both released on the 3DS, with gameplay featuring a pair type of battle system. This is important to mention as in the first title only Dante appears, being paired with Dimitri from Darkstalkers, while in Project X Zone 2 he appeared yet again, this time paired with Virgil. These games are pretty cool, and while the genre is definitely not for me, it's fun in the way that it almost feels like a huge fanfiction. It's also really good looking. DS games have this like specific charm. I don't really know how to explain it, but like the sprites look really animated and good for them just being pixelated. The game even has points where it'll have cut in fully animated attacks. I like this appearance, and to be honest, if I had a chance, I might give this one a shot. I probably wouldn't enjoy the game very much though. I don't think it looks very fun, but for now I'm gonna give this appearance a 6 out of 10. I think it'd be cool to get a game like this now. You know, a mashup between all these universes and a collaboration with all these game companies. I think it's most likely impossible, but if you ever decide to do it, please add Nero. Finally, I can talk about the one manga comic spin-off that actually got its chance to finish, Visions of V. Created by Tomio Ogata, it's one of the most recent Devil May Cry spin-offs and easily one of its best. It began in 2019 after DMC5's launch and has 5 volumes consisting of 36 shorter chapters. And it serves as a prequel and retelling of Devil May Cry 5, all through V's eyes. It follows V from the moment Virgil split himself into 2, to finding nightmares, recruiting Dante, and ends with him reuniting with Urizen, all through his point of view. And from that alone, if you haven't read it, it might just seem like a manga adaptation of DMC5. And yeah, duh, it is. But the fact that it's told through V's eyes does change everything. We not only see the game from his eyes, but from the moment of his birth. And considering V is the human side of Virgil, we also get a lot of never before seen emotion in this character. While V isn't actually Virgil, he's just a part of Virgil, the human side. It's the part of him that feels all these emotions, has all these problems, and most of all, has a ton of trauma. And so we get to see him work through that. Beginning with the collection of his nightmares, or the memories of when he was Nilo Angelo. Not only do we get to see how much this really affected him, but we get to see him battle against this trauma and eventually come to terms with it. Then, yet again, when he meets Trish, obviously Trish reminds him of his mom, forcing him to face the trauma that he has with her, with the fact that she was unable to save him, but somehow she could help Dante. And last, of course, it's Dante. We get to see some of V's real emotions and thoughts on his sibling, about how weak he feels after losing to Dante, someone he should be identical to, how wrong it feels to ask Dante to clean up the mess he's created, and just how hard it is for V to face Dante again. This all ends up with V realizing how much he's thrown away for this obsession for power, coming to terms with his mistakes and how they've come back and haunted him. It took him splitting himself, dividing himself into multiple beings, to realize the things he deems unnecessary actually help him. If he was able to face his issues, come to terms with his past, and realize this obsession with power isn't what makes him that much stronger, he'd be a lot more complete. Through V, this happens. We see this journey through him from birth to end, and so the manga ends with V reuniting with Urizen, completing a more complete Virgil. I think this spin-off is great. It focuses on rarely explored parts of Virgil, everyone's favorite character, and it also redeems V, who personally wasn't my favorite after DMC5, mostly due to his gameplay, but I know a lot of people agree. Visions of V does a great job to make him way more likable while lifting up and making Virgil even better. And the best part? It makes sense. Obviously it's a canon entry, so it has to make sense, at least enough to pass, but I really mean as in it adds a lot of good context to the game. What I'm trying to say is it just really makes everything better in DMC5. Read this, play DMC5, start to finish, it's so much better. Everything is, it already made sense, but it's like, whoa. If you've read it, you know what I mean. And for my final note, I know DMC has its emotional aspects here and there, but getting a spin-off that directly dives into those aspects is a really refreshing thing. I'd love to see things like this more, especially when it's this well written and put together. Oh, and I haven't even touched on the art yet. Yeah, if you couldn't tell from what I've been putting on screen, it looks really good. It's probably my favorite out of the spin-off comic entries, as I think the mangaka's art style just fits Devil May Cry a lot better, and it's just overall a lot more put together. There's points where the art will get gritty and rough as I expect Devil May Cry 2, but it stays really clean and understandable, and I also get the impression they put a lot of love, care, work into this. And of course I'm not saying our other entries didn't, but this manga just generally feels more put together art-wise. There's colored pages, there's spreads, and the level of detail never seems to drop. Overall, it's nothing to say that this looks great. This whole manga looks great, their illustrations, their art, it's perfect, and they draw DMC so well, and I want them to draw so much more. I think I like their Nero the most, but I can't really say that. I like Nero the most every single time he's an option. Let's move on. I think this is the perfect spin-off. Not only is it visually appealing, it looks great, it also dives into a lesser explored medium for the series, manga. That isn't all it does though, as it functions as a great expansion to the story and characters of the series. Something that I personally think spin-offs should obviously aim to do. And yeah, of course it's getting a 10 out of 10. Easily. Rereading this made me want a whole new DMC game that shows more of what we've seen at the end of 5. These brothers repairing their relationship. Please, Capcom, please give it to us. Street Fighter V is up next as it has some DLC Devil May Cry costumes. There's 5 of them in the game, and they're for Ken, Ed, Laura, Cody, and Poison. And these are just so cool to me, especially because I've been really into Street Fighter recently, so learning of these was, well, really awesome. But first up we have Ken, with his Dante skin. Alright, there's Ken as Dante. Look at him. He looks ugly. Let's go! Wait.
You're kidding.
Let's go!
No way.
You know, I'm him.
This is the first time you got around on me in like fucking what in them.
Okay, you don't need to say that! What? Crazy range. Wait, come back, Arc, come back, Arc.
Not really.
Next up is then Ed, with his Nero skin. Yo! Wait, he's the devil trigger! Dude, and it stays there! Yo!
Jesus.
Look at that with the devil trigger!
That's so dope.
What? What is that? What is that? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Dude, he need to stop looking at me. Bro, wait, look at the devil trigger in the background. Dude, that's so hard. This kid is so cool. Cody, one of my favorite Street Fighter characters in general, has the Virgil skin. And this one's really cool.
Desk work just isn't my thing, you know?
Bro, he's got the sword and everything. Is that Yamato? Oh, next round. I learned something. I learned something.
Next round, guys. Next round, guys.
Oh wait, no! 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 Ooh! No! I lost! I thought I had the combos! I thought I had it! My win streak! Laura is up next with the Trish/Gloria outfit. Okay, technically, it's Gloria. She looks so good. God damn it. God damn it! Dude! Dude, don't. And lastly is Poison. Super cute lady skin.
Oh.
Yes, sir! Oh, man. She looks so good. I'm giving these outfits a 9 out of 10. And maybe it's because I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter. It's probably most definitely because I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter recently. But I'm in love with these costumes. Considering they all came out after DMC4, it's perfect. It's got all the characters, they all look really good, and they fit the characters they were given to. I just really hope that Street Fighter 6 gets some fun costumes like these because I've been playing that game a lot, and I would love to see this in that game. Another type of spin-off Devil May Cry has is the 5 novels, all spanning between the 5 games, and all of them I didn't read. Yeah, this video is already going to be quite big, and it would take me a long time to read 5 fleshed out novels. So, the first novel, brilliantly named Devil May Cry, takes place before any of the games, even 3. It showcases Dante's come up as a devil hunter under his original name, Tony Redgrave, and goes through a story on how he came to not be very liked as a mercenary, eventually ending with the opening of the Devil May Cry shop. The second novel, also correctly named Devil May Cry Volume 2, takes place directly after DMC1. This novel follows Dante through a unique adventure that begins with him learning of an issue concerning his past. Eventually, it ends right before the events of DMC2. Devil May Cry 4 Deadly Fortune has 2 volumes with both of them retelling the events of DMC4. The only big difference is that they really delve deep into Nero's upbringing, more specifically his time in the Order. But other than that, it's a pretty basic retelling of the game. The latest and newest novel, Devil May Cry 5 Before the Nightmare, is obviously a prequel to DMC5. This one for once doesn't only follow Dante though, but instead both him and Nero, telling the story on how Nero met Nico and how Dante came to acquire Balrog. This one sounds the coolest to me and is probably the one I can see myself reading first, but since I just haven't read a single one of them, I'll give myself the deserved ranking of illiterate out of 10. PlayStation actually has its own Smash type game with all of its own PlayStation characters, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. It features characters like, Kratos, Sweet Tooth, Sackboy. Is that Dante? Wait. Why is it that Dante? So let me get this straight. We got Dante, but the Dante chosen was that Dante. Let's just play the game. We'll do practice mode. And we'll choose... Where is he? Am I dumb? Raiden. Wait, I might actually... They have Toro! J Toro? I didn't know he was in this game! Wait, we have to take a quick detour. Why did he make that noise? Yo! Yeah, that summarizes this game. I was more excited by Toro than the series I'm here for this video. Granted, this little cat is the reason I'm J Toro. Anyways, while we talk about this version of Dante, I might as well mention the game he's from, DMC Devil May Cry. I actually already reviewed it, and it's part of my video reviewing all quote-unquote mainline Devil May Cry games. And so, if you want to see that, description, but I won't be speaking about the actual game a second time here. And as for the Dante in this game, well, he's okay. Now that I'm not getting distracted, this is who we're here for. Dante. Yay. Alright, so we're Dante from Devil May Cry. Okay, so I have his scythe. Super level. Let's see what this is. Oh, wait! Oh! It's his other... I forgot what the hell they called this in the game. So, do we just have to fight? Why is the stinky onion man back and he's huge? What the... Dude, I'm very much distracted by what's going on in the background. I'm also fucking going through the 7... Oh my god, that was cool. Oh, I killed both of them! Yo! Can I do it again? Okay. 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 Yep. Getting off the game. See you later. I didn't really love him here. And while I kinda did enjoy his personality in his actual game, none of that is even here. None of it shines through. The story cutscenes for him are just slideshows from the game. And playing him is not nearly as flashy as it is in his game. And therefore, there's just no point of him being here. I'm not going to play him over someone cooler like Kratos or Raiden. And if you wanted me to play him, he should have just been the real Dante. And therefore, I can only see one ranking as logical for this game. Toro clears out of 10. Monster Hunter is a frequent collaborator with Devil May Cry, and considering both are Capcom IPs, this makes a lot of sense, and it would also make sense for the series to return yet again. For now though, we can check out the first 3 DMC appearances in 3 different games. Devil May Cry first appeared in Monster Hunter 4, then went on to appear later in Monster Hunter Frontier G1, with its latest and newest appearance being in Monster Hunter World. And well, I guess I should finally say I've never played a Monster Hunter. Yeah. So I have no idea if you can still get these, or even how you would get them. I literally know nothing about Monster Hunter. I just know it's really popular. In Monster Hunter 4, Dante is this cute cat thing, and I really support this one. I love it. I really love cats. Can someone please tell me what this cute creature is called? I need to know what it is. And I also need one IRL, like, right now. Frontier G1 took an outfit approach. DMC4 had recently released, and therefore the game got DMC4 Lady and Dante outfits as well as their weapons. They actually look really good too, and the Devil May Cry style seems to really mash well with this game's art style. Then the most recent, Monster Hunter World, its collab was very similar to the one before, with having a Dante outfit alongside his sword. This one doesn't look as good to me, but I feel as if the game itself doesn't nearly match the art style that Devil May Cry has. Though this one is probably my favorite just because when I was watching the trailer for this, I was laughing, like a lot. Overall, I'm gonna give the appearances in Monster Hunter a 5 out of 10. Mostly because I just don't understand them at all. I like DMC though, and you know, it looks DMC-like, so I'm kind of just all on look. I don't know if they're functional. I don't know if I can still even get them. So I'm gonna put it right in the middle. And maybe I should try Monster Hunter. Please let me know if these are still obtainable. I bet I could solve that with the Google search. TEPPEN is a Capcom card battle game. And at first, I wasn't too excited for this entry. Another mobile game means more BlueStack issues, but then I took a look at this wiki. Look at this. I think this is also cool. Look at how many DMC options there's available, and I didn't know this was a card battle game. A genre I actually don't mind. For some reason, I thought it was like a tower defense game or something. Whatever, I had really high hopes loading up this game. Oh my gosh, look at this. Dante deck. Wait, I have a Dante deck already. Wait. Wait, is Dante in it? Where's Dante? So, wait, it's Lucia. Okay. Leon is cool. Sakura! My favorite Street Fighter character. I want to do the character stories. Look, Dante. Okay, we're gonna do this one. This is perfect. And this art looks sick. Dude, this is a power couple right here. This is a power couple. Oh, let's go. We put Dante down. Let's rock. Wait, that goes hard. What happens if I click this?
Stand still.
That is so cool. Dude, I actually don't mind this. This is sick. Oh, we got another Dante card.
Just relax.
Oh no. What are you doing? Oh my god. Oh my god. That was an insane animation.
Talk about pathetic.
Wait, this is so cool. I actually fuck with this heavy. We have the Nero deck, so now we can try him. Dude, he looks so good. The art for this game looks awesome. Oh, he's fighting Mega Man. Nico. Oh, did you hear him, bro? I'm the one with power. I sound just like him. I can use Nero's thing. Wait. Overdrive. Oh, wait, that goes hard. That's so cool. Look, she's doing mad damage. Wait, I got Nero. I won, though. He died.
Hang of this new toy.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I liked it way more than I thought I would. I think the coolest part is that I can try out decks from all these Capcom IPs right off the bat. Of course, including Devil May Cry. Not having to put tons of time or money to at least try something for the game I'm here for is really nice and refreshing when it comes to how mobile games like to be now. It's not even mobile games anymore, it's everything. I'm going to give this appearance a solid 7 out of 10, and I think my clips more than explain why. I was actually really surprised at the amount of Devil May Cry stuff this game had, and you know what, I probably will come back to play this game a bit more. Smash. I haven't played one of these games since like middle school, lunch, or like the back of the class, you know, like come on, y'all had to have had the same experience. Yes? No? Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a working Switch, so I literally can't check out this appearance, but Dante is in Smash. Kinda. He's a Mii. The Mii fighter has a variant that is Dante from DMC1, and as silly as it is, I'll give them credit. It does kinda look like Dante, especially his outfit. I don't know what else to say about this. He plays like a Mii character, but he looks like Dante. He's on screen, you can see him. He gets a yep out of 10. Now we're on to Astros Playroom, which has no real relationship to DMC except for this game kinda being a PlayStation museum. This isn't even really an appearance, it's an Easter egg. But I don't know, the game's free, it's cute, I'm still including it. Oh shit, this is the level that Dante Devil May Cry is on, and there he is! It's Dante! Yo! Damn! Damn, bro, he's killing it! Damn, they recording him too. Look, this is the next Devil May Cry game in action here. Is that DMC1 Dante? Dude, look at him. He looks so good. Well, as for a rating, this one is pretty cute. It gets a I want to squish those cheeks out of 10. Other than Pika Combat and TEPPEN, there's not that many mobile appearances slash spin-offs to even mention. I could talk about Street Fighter Duel and DX2, but from what I understand, their DMC stuff is limited, unlike TEPPEN and, you know, Pika Combat is the Devil May Cry mobile game. Then there's the huge heaps of flip phone DMC mobile games that were mostly never released outside of Japan and are all very random. Things like the Devil May Cry Clock, the Devil May Cry Quiz, and even Devil May Cry Patchy slot games. There's like actually a Patchy slot game for every DMC, by the way. DMC3 and 4 do have mobile ports, but as you can expect, they aren't great and just aren't worth your time. DMC3's port is on flip phones, and while the 4 port is newer, yeah, you're honestly better off just giving Peak of Combat a try if like you don't have a console or PC. Don't even try and find a way to play these ones. And last, while not a mobile game, it feels like it fits in here. There's no other place to mention this. There's a DMC5 board game. This is the coolest out of the bunch here, and it would be something I'd kind of be interested in checking out. I don't really have any interest in board games. It kind of just seems random, but it's cool. And yeah, everything we just talked about, I'll call it the slop section. Just things that haven't aged, things you have no reason to even try. Yeah, the slop section, I'll give it a 3 out of 10. I don't even think I should be ranking this. And that's it. Jackpot, bingo. God, I gotta stop doing this dumb shit. But of course, the second I put together this whole video, I got about 2/3 of the way through the whole edit. They announced that Street Fighter Duel, something I decided I wasn't gonna play considering their Devil May Cry stuff is limited, is getting a new collaboration. I wanted to check this game out, it's Capcom affiliated, but it's kinda really bad timing. I want to get this video out, I already have everything recorded, so I'm just not gonna be able to check it out. But by the time this video goes up, the collaboration still should have plenty of time. You can go check it out, Street Fighter Duel. There you go. But for real this time, no cheesy dumb shit, whatever. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed my deep dive, my look, my silly dumb rankings of Devil May Cry spin-offs and appearances. Please let me know what your favorites are, what you thought of what I had to say about them, just what you think. Let me know. I like to read the comments. My personal favorites were probably the anime, Visions of V, Marvel vs. Capcom was very fun, and, you know, fighting games are kind of my thing right now, so the Street Fighter ones too. Yeah, let me know. Thank you for watching, I'll see you guys next time, and, oh, that One Piece video. I don't even know what to say. Thank you, I appreciate it so much. It's actually everything. I'll see you guys next time.